Greetings. Most importantly, is that blessings. Yes, sir. Bless my heart, bless my soul. Left it to the world, they'll surely turn it cold. Bless my heart, bless my soul. Give me the strength to continue on this road. Bless my heart and bless my soul. Left it to the world, they'll surely turn it cold. Bless my heart and bless my soul. Give me the strength to continue on this road.
Yo. You know what it is, man. It's 7 o'clock Sunday evening. It gotta be 82 and 0 live. Today is special, man. One, it's Mother's Day. So I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there watching. I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the baby mamas and the baby mamas, baby mamas. Everybody, you deserve it. We appreciate you. This episode is Mother's Nature. I felt it'd be right on Mother's Day to have a great mother here to discuss her walk with God and being a mother. This young lady, I've had the pleasure of working in her home, seeing her in church, being around her enough to know that this is going to be a good conversation. This is going to be a great testimony of faith, of God's love, of just mother's nature. Miss Tesa Conerly, come on up.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hey. How you feeling today on this great Mother's Day?
I am outstanding. How are you?
Oh, I ain't complaining at all. I'm alive and ticking. And it's Sunday, so I'm in
I
a
know
good.
that's right. I know that's right.
So I want to go ahead and hop right into it and tell the people who you are, Miss Tesa. Give them a background of Miss Tesa Conerly.
Okay. Well, as you said, I am Tessa Connerly. I am born and raised here in Columbia, South Carolina, the Metro, the 803. Okay. All the way last, 803, baby. But yeah, grew up right here in Columbia. I'm a mother, a therapeutic foster mother. I am a daughter. I'm a sister. I am an auntie mama. I am a singer at heart sometimes when I'm not retiring myself, because I will. Artist, a little poet sometimes, do a little something. But yeah, and most of all though, I'm a daughter of God. I believe that I'm one of his hands and feet in the earth. So that's most important.
Ooh, I love that intro. Love that. That's beautiful. So Miss Tessa, let's start since you are a daughter of God. Let's discuss
hmm
how, like, your first interactions with God, when you really first decided to walk with Him.
Okay. All right. So listen, I just gotta tell you, I am born and raised a church girl, okay?
Okay.
Born and raised, okay? Born and raised.
Mhm.
But so literally from yeah, born and raised. But I will say the moment that I think was pivotal for me, that it became not just my mama's God and not just my daddy's God anymore, but it became like for real my God, was I'd probably say I was around like 18 or 19. And it was a church down Trentham Road, and they were having a play, and it was about heaven and hell. It was like this young guy, and he was just kind of telling his thing, and he was just living a good life. He was just a good person, but he never gave his life to Christ. They get into a car accident, and now you got a scene set with heaven, hell, the Lamb's Book of Life. You have all these things, and he's like, "What do you mean I can't go to heaven?" It's like, "Yeah, you never accepted him. Like you never knew him for yourself." He's like, "Apart from me, I know you not. But I did all these good things." It's like that's not enough. Like yeah, you can't make it in. So going through that play and experiencing all those things, it was in that moment that I was like, you know what? Something like the Lord literally pricked my heart. He arrested my heart, and he was like, Tessa, I need you for myself. Like I want you for myself. And something just happened, and my life was just changed from that moment. I stopped smoking. Well, not smoking, but hanging around people that smoke. Let me clarify, because I don't smoke. That's nasty. But I still in my bed, don't do that. But so I stopped drinking, because that was a thing. I was drinking, having sex, all of those things. He just took those things away from me. I just changed the people that I was around, all of those. So that's kind of how it happened. In that moment, that play changed my life.
Nice. So when I see you now, I know you're pretty active in your current church, which is our current church, Ford City. And I know over the years you've kind of been with them as they've grown over the years. So kind of tell like how you transition into being a forward citizen and what's that experience like?
Oh man, I have been at Fort City 10 years now. We're getting ready to have our 10-year anniversary in August of this year. But I was there before we started there. So I've been through building after building, location after location. I came, my very first foster son and I were looking for a church home. And we walked into Fort City. And at the time, the thing was like, welcome home to Fort City. Welcome home to Fort City. Okay, we're gonna see because I need good worship and I need good word and all that kind of stuff. And the very first time we came, the worship was amazing. I'm telling you, I probably was snotting face down, just like, oh God, just really going in. And at the end of the night, my baby said, Mama, I think we found our home. And I
Mm.
said, baby, you know what? I think you're right. I think you did. We literally jumped in from that moment, and I have been running ever since. I've been active ever since. I think got connected the first night and probably have never stopped.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So over those 10 years, you've seen a lot of great Travis Green sermons. I gotta admit that he when he get on the stage, he does do his thing. I enjoy that thoroughly.
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel like he's speaking directly to me. Um,
He will.
I mean, it seemed like it, right? That anointing is definitely on them scriptures and on them verses when he get it going now. But I know there was a night where they had a real like crazy like baptism that happened.
Mm.
Tell us about that night.
I think our little hashtag was like I was one of 134. I think it was crazy night. So we used to have like these worship nights. And we came in, it was any other time. They was asking people if they wanted to get baptized and all that. And I'm like, yeah, Lord, I ain't ready. I'm still out here doing my own thing. Okay. Like, God, I'm not, see what I'm not gonna do is come here and play. I'm good. No, thank you. Okay. And God was like, so you really gonna make me call you out? You gonna make me have him call you out? I was like, God, if you want me to go up there, he don't have to call me. And literally PT goes, is Tessa still here? I said, oh, I know you lying. I know you lying. I was like, oh my God. Okay. Literally, PT calls me. I was like, yeah, Tessa's still here. Come on. And I was like, oh no, they ain't even got no more clothes for me. Don't worry about it because I wasn't signed up. So they don't. They said, oh no, we got extra clothes in the back. I was like,
Ooh.
okay, God, you know what? It's like every excuse that I came up with, God was like, yeah, I already got that covered. Oh, you said you weren't gonna go? I'll make him call you because you said he's gonna have to call you. So he's calling you. Okay, okay. They don't got no more clothes. No, no, no. We got plenty of extra clothes back here. So yeah, God was like, oh yeah, tonight. Tonight is the night. And
Hmm.
I get up there and I'm telling y'all, it's a lot of people. First of all, I'm like, I'm real weird about like germs and stuff, okay? But I'm talking about this water. Mhm. Oh, when they said step in the water, it chilled my body. It chilled me, okay? It was cold, but it was also murky, okay? The water was murky. I said, look, it had to be stirring. But when I tell you PT and PJ and everybody else, they stayed there and they were in this pool for hours. I'm talking about they didn't leave till the next morning. I think like 6 or 8 that next morning. And we were there at like 6 that night. They were there all night in this water, in and out, all night long, literally pouring into everyone. But that night, God was like, Tessa, I'm coming for all of it. Like all of it. And I mean, when I say wreck my life in such a beautiful way, it was people still talk about that to this day. Like that was a spontaneous baptism that changed a lot of people. It blew my mind. Blew my
Nice, nice.
mind.
I can say that I can't remember. I think I've been baptized like one, two, three, 4 times, maybe 4 times, right? But
Mhm.
my last time I just posted on my social media. If you follow me on social media, you can see it. But it was in October, and it was a similar type moment where it was a normal Jordan Sunday where everybody was getting baptized. And it started being more people just kind of spontaneous deciding like they wanted to get baptized. I remember mine was in the sanctuary, like singing her tail
Mhm.
off, going in, and people just kept coming out. And it was so powerful for me because it was this one young lady, I can almost see her face, but she was at like the pool on the left and she was just really like crying, and you could tell it was real intense. And for me watching it, like the emotion started hitting me. I'm over there fighting tears. And I remember telling my partner Manny, I was like, "Hey, bro, I think I'm gonna get baptized." And I joke a lot, so they thought I was just kind of playing. But like, I ain't want to make a big old scene about nothing like that either. So I kind of slid to the back. I was like, "Hey, y'all got more shirts? Okay, cool." And I think I might have been like the last of however many 60, 70 people that day that got baptized. So I definitely understand how that spirit can come through there and move you and then just dump you in that water. Because I definitely just got picked up and dumped in that water. But it was
Mm-hmm.
it was a great thing. I felt renewed, and since then, like I've been just doing my best to walk in obedience and really just do my thing. That's real beautiful. I do want to talk about before we get too far away from your early life.
Mm-hmm.
Give us an idea of like how the mother father, like how that parenting structure was for you, and how that, because you say you grew up in the church, so explain like the influence that your parents had of you being in the church.
Oh, listen, I feel like we were at church all the time, okay? So, we were in church all the time. You had my mom was on the usher board, okay? So I was on the junior usher board, I was on the pastor aide, I was on the I was on the choir. Like I did a little bit of all of it, but so we were just always there. We were always connected. Grew up under a really amazing pastor. Her name was Dorothy L. Pearson, and Mount Olive Baptist Church, Blue Ridge Terrace. Shout out to my people if you're out there. But yeah, it was just we were always there, and I don't know how to. So I'll say this: my dad kind of went through some struggling moments where he wasn't as connected with the church. He would feel like usually like, did you tell him something about me? Because she's talking about me. He would literally tell my mom like, you said something to her, didn't you? Because she talking my business. Like, no, that's just how the spirit of the Lord works. Like, so I just remember well, my dad had a stint where he did some time, and it was during that time that his life was transformed. And I just prayed, y'all. Look, this is when I really another moment that like God just showed Himself as just awesome. Okay, I prayed like God do something in my daddy's life, like change him. Like I know you can. I know he knows you, God, but just bring him back to you. Like give him a hunger and a fervor and something different for your word, God. And during that time, like God lit a fire down in his soul. Like when he came home, it was very, very different. So I just got to see those different changes, but I got to see my mom be a faithful woman of God. Like she stayed in there, she prayed, she was not one. She probably not as my mom was not as radical as I am because I might get to jumping, hollering. We don't know what may happen. Okay, we don't know. But my mom wasn't that one. She's real reserved, especially in church. But I just saw her consistency. And I feel like throughout life, I saw the faithfulness of the Father in her. My mom used to say something. She says, I may not have much, but I never lost what I had.
Mm.
She said, I might didn't have a whole lot, but I didn't lose what I had. Meaning like God kept me, God sustained me. Even in what might not seem like much for other people, it was a lot for her. It was truly a lot for her. So I think that consistency. And then another thing, my pastor, she used to say, this was her favorite line. She said, do all you can while you can for the Lord. Because
Mm.
only what you do for God will let. And that thing just stuck with me. So those things have really shaped who I am today, like how I operate, how I move, what I believe in. My mom's consistency, the words of my pastor, and seeing her being a woman pastor in those times where that wasn't a real thing. Where you had people talking about women can be in the pulpit. So just seeing her and how she operated and ran things, it was amazing. It was amazing time to be alive and in the body of
Nice. So let me ask you this. So from I know you said there was a point where, of course, you were in church more with your family, and then there was a point
Christ.
where you became like you had like your own relationship with
Hmm.
Jesus, with God. Like,
Hmm.
how does that the difference in that maturity from one to the other, and like post having your own personal relationship, like give us a idea of how that, in your perspective, look or feels from this point to looking back.
Um, I would say so. I grew up in a Baptist church, so let me start there. And I now go to a non-denominational church. So those are two different sides of the coin, just a little bit. And I think realizing that there was more to church than just what I was seeing in my small home Baptist church. Like there was more to God. There was more to see, more to know. Like God was so much, he was so much greater. He's vast. Like God is so big, but I feel like we had him in a box at that time. I feel like the older church, we had God in a box. We limit what God could do and how God could do it, and it had to look a certain way. And this was back in the day. We were suited and booted, okay, baby. I was like 12, 13 with a two-piece suit. Okay, I had a two-piece suit with shoulder pads at 12 and 13. Okay, so things just look really different at that time in in what we believed and just how we operated. Like for one thing, like they believe that only a few people could speak in tongues, when it says that there's a gift, that it's a gift for everybody. But
Right.
my mind had to be open to different things. Like God is, no, it says that this is the gift that we can, that's freely given. Like we all can speak, and not just, but that's not how I was raised. That's not what I saw. You would see a couple people that's bucking, they screaming, they shouting, like, oh, okay, ooh, God doing it for them. But it's like coming to realize, like, man, that same God is available to you, and he wants to work and operate through you. So I think that's where my faith has brought me now. I've seen God do so many things at this ripe age of 40. I've dreamed the dreams. I've dreamed the dreams. Like I've dreamed the dreams and they've happened exactly the way that I've dreamed them. Like I've prophesied, I've laid hands, I've laid hands and seen the sick recovered.
Mm.
So I believe God in a different type of way from what they might have believed then. I'm like, until you have walked with God through some stuff, he's been the healer. He's been the way maker, the miracle worker, the promise keeper for me. So until you've gone through some things, you might not know God in that way. So I just feel like we limited God back in I'll say in the older days, but I'm like, I know him now.
Yeah.
I know him now.
And so I'm glad you said that, because one of the things on my mind was that ironically you have shown up without being on camera in a few different episodes of 82 and 0 Live. And it's a beautiful way. One of my favorite ones is when Kelly's like, and Tesa, powerful woman of God. That line right there, I laugh about that all the time. But it was dope to hear him say that, and like what you're saying now, of how you came to just pray over him, and what you said to him in that moment, like what God was giving to you was confirmation for him. And in the amount of time, it played out like something he already known from God, saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And at that moment, he's questioning, like, well, what you going to do, God? When? And you coming to him and saying, hey, God saying, hey, you're not crazy. You're hearing his voice just in time. And I thought that was real dope. So I know you've had a number of those moments. Could you tell us maybe like one that just kind of sticks out to you of like one of those times where God kind of delivered a message to you and you know?
I don't even know if I can just pin down just one, to be honest with you. I love that not only that I'm a instrument for God, but he will bring those same people back to confirm that you hear what you hear. Because sometimes we think that we're crazy and it's like, oh, this might be just all in my head. But then God is like, no, you just don't know. I was having a hard time. And the word that you gave me, that spoke life to me. Like you spoke directly to my situation and you had no idea what I was going through. Countless times. Literally countless times. It may be just since I just feel like God has placed a song in my heart, and it's like I've been singing this song all day, and I'm like, what, girl, that's good. Well, I think that's confirmation. I literally had a situation. That in one of my city groups. I've been a city group leader at Ford City many times, and it was this one young lady, and we were having a thing, and she was just having a moment, and she was just like, I'm just going through. And before I left, I was getting ready, and the song Gyra just kept going through my head. It just kept going through my head. Maverick City, Gyra, you are enough, and I will be content in every circumstance. Gyra, you are enough, And I went to her and I said, all I can hear is Gyra. You are enough. You're and I'm like, provider. She said, that's the password to so many of my things. I just, and I mean, she just broke and she just started crying. Like, And this is what you come and you say to me. I was like, I mean, that's just all I could hear. Like he knew what you were gonna need in that moment. And I'm just grateful that I'm tuned into the spirit enough to be able to hear what he's saying and be able to be the hands and feet for the Father.
Nice, nice, nice. I'm gonna put a pin on that, right? Because there's a
Hmm.
couple stories that I'm gonna double back to, so we
Hmm.
space, right? But I want to right now just kind of pivot to the fostering side. We've talked about your early parent and how your parents did with you and how they raised you
Hmm.
in church. Let's talk about the fostering. Kind of give us a background on that, how we
Okay.
got started. The because you gave me a different name that I known it for. I think you said behavioral. Yeah. So
Mm.
kind of explain what that is and how you got involved in that.
Okay, sure. So I am what's considered a therapeutic foster parent. And so basically the therapeutic side just means that I may have children who have behavioral issues. So they may have ADHD, they may be bipolar, they may be medically fragile, they may have sexual trauma. It just depends on what type of, they may be fire starters. It just depends on what type of behaviors you're willing to deal with. It really just depends. So that's all that the therapeutic side kind of means versus regular, I guess. And I do air quotes here, regular, what they consider to be regular, or kids who may not have as many issues. And I got into fostering, I think probably 12 years ago now. I think it's about 12 years now. So crazy that it's been that long. But 12 years ago. So my godmother, her family, they've always kind of taken other people in and done fostering and things like that. And she needed like respite care. Respite care is just where you need a break and you have someone to actually take the kids maybe for a weekend or for a day or whatever the case is. And so at the time I was like, okay, I was like, well, I can do that, and there'll be a little chump change on the side. It will put a little gas in, but we'll be able to keep the kids. And I wanted kids at the time, wanted to have my own kids. It wasn't happening for me. I was married. So my ex-husband and I did the process together. And that was the kind of way to meet that maternal need that I had, because I've always been I've always been a nurturer. I'm an auntie mama. Before I was ever anything else, I was an auntie mama. All my babies, they know. I nurture them. I mother them. I mother probably everybody. But that is pretty much how I got into fostering. One, she needed respite, and it kind of met the need for me for that maternal portion. So that's kind of how I got started. It started off was supposed to be a weekend, and it's been a long term thing ever since. My first child that I got, I thought it was gonna be a weekend. It was a full placement, and he was with me for almost a year.
Nice, nice. And so how many you said that was like a full year. How many children have you taken in over the years?
Ooh. I will probably say I would probably say maybe 20, probably close to 20. I would probably say maybe. But it just depends. Some of them only need care for a short term. It just depends. Everybody's situation is different when they come into foster care. And so you never know what you're going to deal with, what type of trauma they may have dealt with, or how you're going to be able to show up for them. And man, I will say this. People ask me all the time, like, how is it fostering? Is it hard? I'm like, listen, y'all, it's challenging, but it's so rewarding. I get to see kids' lives literally transform right before my eyes, and I get to be a part of that. I get to introduce a lot of them to God. I get to introduce them to family and traditions and things that they would probably never have experienced before. So, one of my babies, he told me, and I think this is probably one of my best moments. And I have plenty of great moments, but one of the best moments of my first foster child, he said, Mama, you gave me the best thing ever. You gave me Jesus. And I was, man, that's so good to me. We both cried, okay? He gave us life to Christ, and it was just an amazing moment. But he said, you gave me Jesus. You gave me Jesus. So I'm so grateful.
Man, I want to Jamal's in the comments now. I'm gonna bring up his first comment. He was on
Okay.
episode 3, Love Conquers All.
I
And
see.
that one he explained to me. I didn't know that he grew up in a foster home as a foster child. So that was different. I didn't know it. But he said that thank you so much we need more people like you because there's so many kids that are lost and forgotten. Thank you so much for your love and kindness. I think that's real. He followed it up by saying, "Wow, thank you so much." Speaking from my former foster child mindset, so
Yeah.
that to me that's a beautiful thing. I'm gonna fight it back a little bit
I
because
know.
that's a
I'm not. We're not crying today.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah, I can't promise you that. I can't promise you that. But I think that's a beautiful thing. What you're doing. I've seen it firsthand how you move just amongst your family, amongst your friends, amongst children, period. So I can see the natural maternal instinct in you. So I think that's a beautiful thing. God don't make no mistakes, right? That's the thing. So let's talk about the young fella that you're currently fostering.
Okay.
Tell us about him and how that's going and where it may be leading to.
Okay, so I have one baby. Y'all may know my boo-boo. Y'all may know my Kasi. So that's my baby. And he's been with me. That's my boy. Y'all see my baby son. Y'all see him? Ooh, he's so handsome. But yeah, so Kathy has been with me off and on since he was 4. And he is an amazing kid. Like I'm so grateful that I get to do life with him. I'm so proud of the young man he's growing into, and I'm so excited about what God is going to do in his future. And we are working towards adoption. So, like I said, we've been. I think this is Kathy's 3rd time back with me. Okay, Kathy's the only one that's been back 3 times. Okay, but something about him just pricked my heart a long time ago, and we just been stuck together like glue. Even he left, he went home, he came back, and guess what? He's still my boo. And so I followed him there, and we just been locked in ever since.
So with that, like what I know you got your Christian upbringing from your parents, but kind of give a background on how growing up in your home with your mother and all, how that kind of transferred over some of the lessons you may have learned and applied for you being a mother of the children.
Man, listen, my mom was amazing. So, y'all, this is my second Mother's Day without my mom. I lost my mom in November of 24. Okay. Um, but my mom, man, she had a heart of gold. She was gonna be late. Now, I will say that the lady was gonna be late, but you was gonna get there. It was gonna be late, but you was gonna get there. Okay. She was good as gold. She's coming. But just the way that she loved people, I've seen cousins sleeping on the sofa, my mama cooking on Sundays and feeding everybody, and um, giving money that she knew she was never going to get back. Giving until almost the detriment of herself at times. And yeah, just the way that her and also my grandmother, just the way that they love people. If you ever came to my grandma's house and you left hungry, you chose to leave hungry, because that when you once you come in, your family. That's just the way my family has been. Once you come in, your family. We love you. That we're down like 4 flats once you come in, and that's just how my family has been. How my mom and my grandma, they were like, man, my everything. Those are my 2 favorite girls. Part of the Golden Girls. I got my auntie. I had 2 aunts that were a part of it too, but my Golden Girls, and they just taught me so much about love and what that means to show up for somebody. My mom was always there. When I say always there, always there. She was gonna be in the bleachers yelling and screaming. Whether I was singing in a play, she was gonna be there. Um, it did not matter. Whatever I was gonna do, she was gonna be there to support her baby. I can guarantee you. So she's my biggest cheerleader. She's my biggest support, and that's how I try to show up for my kids as well. I'm like, I want them to have something that they might have never had. A lot of kids come into my home and they've never made the honor roll before, but now because they have someone who is checking their homework, someone who is practicing spelling words with them, someone who's saying, "Oh no, 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 you're not going outside until this work is done." And now I'm like, they're like, "I never made the honor roll before. Nobody ever helped me. Thank you for helping me." Like that's just my parents were there, my dad too, they were there, they helped me. And so my goal is to make sure that I'm able to help other kids, and to I want them to feel that love. I want them to know, like, man, God sees you, God loves you, and I'm just an extension. I'm just a vessel that he's using to pour his love out on you.
I love that. I love that. The world definitely needs more of you. They might not can't get it in that same package, but they definitely need more of you. Just because there's an impact. Like what you're saying now, what you would have been a perfect for the love conquers all. Like you and Jamal could kind of did like a 1-2 because y'all both have a similar heart for children and how it does. Like yeah, I love it. You did mention the untimely passing of your mother, um, and in your mind, I want to kind of speak about that, but kind of go back a little bit before that, and
Okay.
mention like your father, because at one point in time
Mm,
he was sick, um,
mm,
and there was a very powerful moment that we had a conversation about that
mm.
I would kind of like to lead up to and you discuss, but kind of give us the preface before that moment, kind of what led up to all of that.
So for my dad, you're referring to the hospital. I want to make sure we're on the same thing.
Hospital.
Okay. So 2020, let's just, 2020 was a year for the Conerly family. Okay. 2020 was a year. So it started off, I got COVID. I'm in the hospital for a week. A week. Never been sick, never had any issues in the hospital for a week with COVID. My mom gets COVID. I get out of the hospital. I'm nursing her back to health. Okay. Then my dad, and so that was in June, July. I was out of work till probably September. My dad gets COVID in October. And he was at home. He just like us, started off tending to it at home. And then he was like, I got these hiccups that won't go away. And I was like, okay. He said, well, I'm gonna go to the VA. I said, okay. So he goes to the VA complaining like with hiccups. And then next thing I know, these people was like, look, we might have to, sedate him and we might have to put him under. And I'm like, wait, whoa, time. He went in here, he went in here for hiccups. He was doing fine. He just, I don't understand. So it went into, and people literally like, yeah, y'all might as well get ready because he not gonna make it. So this is during the time they're not letting anybody in hospitals and stuff when they have COVID. Even though we're at home tending from, they weren't. So you don't even know if you're gonna be able to see your loved one, okay? But they let us come in and we were behind the glass and they was like, yeah, y'all come in and say your final goodbye. Basically come say your final goodbye. Like, Jesus. Okay. So I'm on my face and I'm praying. I'm praying night and day. I'm like, well, I'm playing It Ain't Over Till God Says It's Over by Marette Clark Brown. I'm playing it over and over and over and over because I got to get this thing in my spirit. It ain't over until God says it's over. It's not over, not over, not over, not over until God says it's over. So we go in, we get ready to go in. This is how strategic God is, first of all. God says, Tessa, when you get there, let your brother go first, your mom go next, and you bring up the rear. And I was like, but why? God says, let your brother go first, your mom go next, and then you go. My brother goes in. My brother is literally acting up a little bit, okay? And they call me this, like, Miss Connolly, your brother is acting up. We're gonna have to get, yeah. So I said, let me talk to him. I said, hey, if you act crazy and I don't get to see my daddy, I'll never, boy, yeah. I ain't gonna ever forgive you. I don't get to say something to my daddy before he leave. I'm letting him have it. So he has to act right in order to come back downstairs so the rest of us can go. So that's the strategic part of God. Like he knew how he was going to respond. And otherwise, he would have had nothing that would have kept him from, flying off the handle. Next, my mom goes in. Mom, like, I can't really hear him. I can't really hear him, whatever. So she comes down. I go up. I get up there. God's like, hey, y'all can't. There's like, oh, he can't hear us. I said, no. I need him to hear me. God says he needs to hear me. So I said, this is what I want y'all to do. I want you to take the phone in there and put it to his ear so he can hear me because I need him to hear the word of the Lord.
Mm.
They take the phone in there. So they put it to his ear. I put my hand to the glass and I begin to pray, Father, in the name of Jesus. I begin
Mm.
to speak and I'm calling down heaven in this place. Okay.
Mm.
I'm decreeing and declaring healing from the crown of his head to the soles of his feet. You will be a walking, talking,
Mm.
breathing, living miracle. So I'm speaking, I'm decreeing and declaring at this point because I'm stirred. I'm like, I know what God said. I think I got some scriptures that I wrote down. So I'm speaking the word in this place. Okay. Because now I need your spirit to rise. Yeah. Come on. So we get there, I pray, and I leave. And I was like, I believe that things are about to change. I
Mm.
believe that things are about to change. I said my daddy will be a walking, talking, breathing, living miracle, and that's what he's gonna be. I
Mm.
leave there, y'all. This lady wasn't even supposed to be working at the VA this day. She was not supposed to be working. She was supposed to be in Augusta. Was not supposed to be working there. Was not. And this lady said, She was supposed to be working in the VA. And she said, listen, she said, I think your daddy just needs a little time and a little faith. I said, man, where have you been? I said, I got a lot of time and a whole lot of faith.
Talk.
I got I got a whole listen, I got a lot of time and a whole lot of faith, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So she said, yeah, I think that's all that he needs. So y'all, let me tell y'all something. When I tell you the Lord did a complete turnaround, the doctor literally told me, he said, you would be doing your father a disservice to resuscitate him if he colds. I said, excuse me? I said, sir, you know what? I don't even want you in there around my daddy no more. I don't want nobody in here who don't speak the way that I speak, that don't believe the way that I believe. If you're not speaking what I'm speaking, you leave.
Oh, that's
You
so
are
good.
not to enter his room. Like, look, sometimes you gotta kick the devil out. Like, you gotta go. If you
That's
don't
right.
align up with the word of God, if you don't align with what I'm speaking and what I believe, you gotta go. Get your stuff, and you
Mm,
gotta go.
mm,
Sometimes you gotta kick the devil out, y'all. I don't know.
mm.
Open that door and tell him to go. Okay?
You know what I'm
But
hearing?
anyway, go
Powerful
ahead.
woman. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
I'm not I'm not playing with you. But literally, that's what happened, y'all. And I kid you not, over some time, my daddy literally, they wheeled him down there, but he got up and he walked to get in this car. My daddy was a talking, a walking, a living, a breathing miracle. And so I got to see, I'm like, man, we have so much power. They said that life and death is in the power of the tongue. And I believe because I spoke it, I believe that I did what God instructed me to do concerning him. My daddy is still here to this day. He's on oxygen after COVID, but he's still here. Millions didn't make it, but he's one of the ones that did. Millions
That's
didn't make it, but I'm one of the ones that did. That's all I got. Listen, that's all I got.
that's strong. That's strong. That's strong.
Mm, mm.
Keandre said amen. We can definitely say amen to that. My boy Dre in
Who
there. What's
wouldn't
up?
serve a God like this, y'all? Who
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't serve a God like this? I'm talking about a God that not only sees, he hears, he actually shows up. He
All right.
actually moves. Man, okay. I'm gonna keep it together.
Mm.
I'm gonna
So
keep it together.
so with that, you said that your mother also had COVID as well.
Hmm.
How did
Yes.
that affect her?
So my mom already had some conditions already. And I feel like it just kind of added up just a little bit, put a little speed on it, accelerated it a little bit. Yeah, so she had dementia, and I feel like it kind of accelerated and also did some things within her heart. She already had some heart issues and things going on, and I feel like it just kind of sped it up a little bit. I kind of started seeing the decline more after COVID.
Okay. So I'm not sure how far along that was. I think that was like 2022 when I met you. No,
No, that was
24, 24.
2024. That was 20, the 24.
My math bad right now. My bad. I was fast and I only had one meal today. I'm sorry. Um,
You
but
gotta
so
eat something, brother. Gotta eat something.
yeah, so 2024 is where I when I met you. I was
Yes.
at your house doing some work painting or whatever, and that was when I had the pleasure of meeting your mom. For me, it was cool to see as I'm sitting there working, how you were taking care of her, but y'all had like a playful relationship. Sometimes she kind of give you a little fuss back and forth. But just kind of talk about the dynamic of going from the daughter to the mother in that situation and what
Man.
that took.
Yeah, that's a different type of thing. It really, really is. It was hard. First of all, being a daughter and seeing the person who has been a pillar of strength for you, who's been everything, who's always showed up for you, need you in a different type of way. Till now, she's your baby, and you're in more in the mother role. Um, it was very, very different. And it was very hard because it's like, Mom, you can do this. You know, in your mind, it's like, Mom, I can do it. You can do this. No, you putting on now. You doing too much. But realizing, knowing who she was, like if she could, she would. If she could, she would. If she could help herself in those ways, she would. My mom would never have me doing some of the things that I had to do to take care of her. If she could do it herself, because she has pride. She believed in carrying herself a certain type of way, and it was very, very difficult to go through the role changing. to go through the role changes. It was.
Yeah, watching it, I saw that it was tough at moments, but I feel like also like y'all found a way to really enjoy those moments as well. It was fun for me to be in there working and seeing y'all kind of joking back and forth, or you, all right, mate, and telling them to get the laundry and all that kind of stuff. Like I just thought that was kind of cool, and especially when she used to try to tip in that kitchen and get some food. And that was that I used to look out for on that one. And that was listen, but I'm sorry, I'm just saying it's true. So kind of talk about that, like, because I imagine that was kind of things that you kind of cultivated in order to keep your spirits in the right place and just kind of be in a good space with it. Kind of talk about like that aspect of it.
Absolutely. I definitely felt like I had to reinvent something. So sometimes she wouldn't want to get up. So I'd be like, hey, mom, can you come help with these clothes or something like that? Something that she would always do. She did some housekeeping and stuff in her earlier or maybe her later years. Did some housekeeping. So I'd be like, hey, mom, can you come help with these clothes? Or just little things. I found creative ways to get her up and to get her active. Or like my neighbor, Mr. Nat would do like blanket and families. And so they would have like these little blankets that you'd have to tie the end and do knots on. So I have her tie it, we'd have her do the blankets, just little things to keep her active and to keep her going. Or me knowing that it was hard to get her up and get her out for church sometimes. So we would have church at home. We were gonna have church at home. I'd pray. I'd start praying and I'd ask her, Sister Margaret, do you know the Lord? Have you given your life to Jesus? So it'd be like just us having our own little Baptist moments right there at home, singing like some of her favorite songs and just creating our own moments. Whether that's me catching my mama walking outside. We have a fig tree across the street. Okay. I found my mama outside with the dog across the street at the fig tree. I mean, the woman just literally hanging on the branch and just got just arms up hanging on the tree. So, but allowing her to do the things that she like to do, I'm like, you rest my shit. I don't eat them. You just gonna eat it right off the tree, eh? Oh, okay, that's nice. Just letting her just figure out her way to do certain things and realize that everything didn't have to be my way. Um, and sometimes we struggle with that control piece, wanting everything to be the way that we want it to be, but realizing that I had to be flexible. I had to be creative and I had to be flexible because otherwise I would be upset a lot because I'm like, why is she doing this? She doing it on purpose. I'm like, Mama, no. But realizing that she couldn't help it, like dementia, it changes the very essence of who they are. It literally, it takes away the person that you know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you, it's one of my favorite moments here. It was a good bit, just of seeing her experience it. But one day I've been over there working for a good bit. Anybody know me? If I'm around working, I'm at some point in time, my son is gonna end up there with me working. That's just kind of how it is. He had been coming with me a few times, and one particular day he didn't come. And I'm behind the bar working. She can't see me. I'm painting, and she said, where the boy at? He in school?" And it just for me, I'm a hold my emotions best I can, right? But for me, it said a lot because I knew at that moment that she was fighting dementia. And for me, it was something to say that, man, you remember my son and all this, you remember that one little thing to ask about him. That, and I guess she started calling me the mechanic, which is hilarious.
Yes, she was the
Um,
mechanic. Mhm.
but I just that was something for me that just was dear to my heart for her to have that moment of saying, "Hey, where's your son?" Um, Maybe to other people, maybe not so much, but to me, that meant a whole lot. And anytime I'm near that bar, I low key think about that moment quite often. So yeah, that was pretty cool. The other aspect of that was while you're mothering your mother through dementia, you're also mothering Kasi through fostering. Like, explain the dynamic and like the heart and the guide that has to be with you in that moment to stay strong and really be able to apply the right amount of mothering to both situations while keeping yourself together.
Listen, it was definitely a balancing act. Okay, the Lord is kind. The Lord is kind. I thank God for my community, for people who would give me breaks when I needed it. Shout out to Shalonda, especially towards the end. She was really helpful with the care with my mom. And then it was a lot. It was definitely a balancing act, trying to be what two people needed you to be. And on top of being what you need for yourself as well. So all I can say is that God is good and that his grace is sufficient. Like he literally carried me through those moments. And how you said I never would have made it. I would have lost it all. Like I would have lost it all. So I'm just grateful. Don't you start.
Okay, I'm trying not to cry right now. Go ahead, keep going. I got my towel
Yeah,
ready.
yeah, yeah. Oh gosh. Well, at least you prepared. I am not prepared. Okay. I am not prepared. I must knew I was gonna hold it together. Okay.
Mm.
But yeah, so I don't know. I just say that it was just God that kept me in those moments of showing up to be what they both needed in those moments. Again, I'm very grateful for my community and the support that they poured out before and after my mom's passing. So yeah.
You mentioned that. I wanna touch on that for a moment. Because I did see the strength of your community. Before, during, and after. Um, I was there the night she passed away. That was that was real tough for me. Because I felt like she was kind of low key like my mama. You know what I mean? Like, when you're around somebody that's auntie, that's mama, that's somebody. And I got to that point where, like, yeah, if she was going in that kitchen to get a little snack, I might not say nothing. I'm I'm
You
just
was
saying.
definitely on her team. I'm sick of
Yeah,
you.
I mean, because she was cool with me, like but I want to say like that night it was rough for me, but I saw the on point of so many different people from the community, the Tashas, the Forest Cities, the Passenger Malls. There was a lot of people that just came and pulled up. Um, it was real heartwarming because I know there's so many families that get wrecked in those moments because they don't have community, because they don't have, and I felt like the way the community came in and poured in for your family, just really largely like, everybody had people that's coming in for them, but there was a large piece to me that kind of shows your work, and just how you had moved amongst people. That was big for me, but I felt like the community came in and allowed you to still, in a very very weak moment, still give off motherly, like, characteristics, because there were so many moments where, like, your brother was having a harder time, and you were there for him in a real strong way. Shout out to bro, for real, for real. Like, but I saw how you did. I saw at the funeral like how you were keeping things together while fighting inside. So like, talk about the community for a moment and just kind of how important was that for you in that time?
Man, that was major. Um, I'm telling you, just from people calling, stopping by, even when mom first came home on hospice, I'm talking like you got the Sherlin that's coming over to help set up the room. You have my godmother Karen that came through. You have my cousin. You just it was just so many people that just pulled up, and Ron coming all the way from Charlotte to be down here with me. Like, man, when I tell you, I don't know what I would have done. Like, Ron literally had to take shifts with me when my mom came on hospice. We took shifts, like sleeping in the room with my mom. He'd like, yeah, go lay down, and so I go get a few moments of sleep, and I do mean a few moments because if anything move, I'm like, I'm up. I gotta go see what she need. Gotta go see what she need. But just them allowing me those moments to, whether it was straightening out the space, the cleaning out the room to make room for the hospice stuff that needed to come in, or sitting up with me, or um food. Fort City did food and stuff for the family. They were there throughout the whole process, and man, I'm so grateful. Shout out to my finance team. You know what I'm saying? My finance team at Fort City, those are my people. But they definitely pulled up. They definitely showed up. Yeah, man, words just cannot express. I mean, PJ texting me to check on me. Mom Cynthia, listen. Mom Cynthia, shout out to Mom Cynthia. Cynthia Ware, yeah, she was in there. Okay, she was in there. So man, I'm just so grateful. I really feel like I would have lost my mind if I did not have my community, and especially even more so afterwards. Now I had to realize like I couldn't do all the things that I used to do on my own, even with just my mom still being here. So my mom would have some moment that wasn't there, but she was still in the house. Just realizing so many different ways and how much had changed over the time. I can't just ask my mama to run and pick up the kids for me when I'm running behind at work or something.
Mm.
I can't get her to do that anymore. Or just, hey, y'all stay here. I'm gonna run to the store real quick and I'll be right back. I can't do that because my mom's not here anymore. I actually needed people, y'all. The person who actually is there for everybody else, the strong friend, needed other people. That was a hard place.
Yeah,
Realizing I needed other people. That was really, really hard. But being so grateful that people was like, Tessa, okay. That people was like, thank you for being you. Thank you for showing up for me. And I get to do this for you. I'm just grateful that people poured their love out on me in the times that I needed it. When I really struggled, when I really thought I was gonna lose it, I'm telling you, there's been moments I've been hard down crying, and you got V that pop up like I'm on the way over there. Y'all open the door. Yeah, oh, you're not answering the phone. I'm pulling up at your house. Yeah. So I'm just grateful for people who value me enough to say, you know what, I'll stop my life. I'll pull up to check on you. I'm gonna make sure you're good. So I try to do right by people, and I'm grateful for the people that do right by me.
that's real. That's real. Shout out to the whole big old circle of everybody. Shout out to Rondell. I hope you
His
watching
name
Ron.
is Ron. His name is LaRon. Mm-hmm.
Oh, LeRon. Oh, my bad, Rondell. Um,
Wow. I'm gonna get
oh,
you.
because that's my dog. I ain't like to you. I rock with Ron. But anyhow, so I want to ask you this question.
Okay.
Um, at where you are now,
Hmm.
if you could go back and have a conversation with 20-year-old you and 30-year-old you, what would you tell those two people?
Oh, okay. The 20-year-old me, yikes. I would say be mindful of your decisions and who you link your life with. I would say be mindful. I would say finish school, girl. Don't take the long route. I still finish, but don't take the long way around. Um, 30-year-old me, sis, I'm proud of you. Like I see everything that you've been through, and you may have some hard moments, but you're gonna be okay. Like you walk with God, you know God, and he always fights for you. He's gonna show up for you. Don't even worry about it. Like the same, he's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So just trust him. Even 20-year-old me, trust him, girl. Trust God.
I can dig that. So looking back now, like in the moments where it got tougher, and God was definitely having to be with you more. Like naturally, it strengthens your faith. But just
Mm.
explain to us now, after all you've been through, what does that do for your faith currently?
Mm. I would say my theme song of the season probably says it the most. Like God, I'm just grateful. Like God, I'm just grateful. Who am I that you keep me on your mind? God, I'm just grateful for you. I'm at a place of being so grateful for all God has done. I've seen him move in so many different ways. He's restored things that I never thought that he would restore. He has healed things that I didn't think could be healed. He's just doing so much in my life. Like you just can't make me doubt him, y'all. That's all I can take. Like I'm just in such a place of like gratitude. Like Lord, I owe you this. It's my reasonable service. It's my reasonable service. Like, God, I just love you so much. And I'm just so grateful for all that you have done and all that you've been. So I'm just at a place of just being grateful for where he has.
With that, You spoke to something that was on my heart as you were saying that. I kind of wanted to mention it earlier, and I kind of got past it, but
Hmm.
what better time than now, right? I'm grateful for you, right? Because what wasn't mentioned here, but was mentioned in the early episode. Now, I love the fact that you as a character have popped up in multiple episodes along this podcast. And in a way, you're a catalyst of this podcast existing, right?
Mm,
Because me coming to your house and working, I had been at that time a former member of Ford City. Just had kind of walked away from the church and was trying to stay busy and pay bills. And it was like almost every day since I came in and I told you I attended Ford City, you kept saying, well, "Man, we gotta get you back in there. We gotta get you back in there, G. We gonna get you connected. We gonna get you connected." I'm like, "Man, nah." And you're like, "No, we gonna get you in there." And your persistence eventually got me back in the door, and I started attending here and there, and then it became a every Sunday thing, to the point where people thought we were married, which is hilarious. But like your persistence got me back in the church. And I can say that getting back in Ford City has changed my life. Not,
mm.
not just getting back in Ford City, but renewing my relationship with God, and not even just renewing it, whew, um, strengthening it,
Oh yeah.
learning. Ooh,
Mm,
I brought my towel for a reason. Um,
I'm chilling on that
yeah,
one.
yeah. Restoring in me like how I should be walking, showing me the power of God. Like to hear the story of how you went and prayed over your father then was powerful for me. To see how you were walking, like all the questions I'm asking you now, whew, were were things that were helping me low key see that, man, I've been tripping. Like God really is real and he really has a power, but you
Oh
gotta
yeah.
be attuned. To hear my partner say, yeah, man, randomly we were just talking. He like, man, yeah, Tessa came to me and prayed over me and said something. Ooh, wow. And there's multiple stories. There's multiple people that can tell stories like that. But for me, I'm grateful for you being obedient to God and you getting your walk right with God and standing strong. Because not only me, but there's a lot of people that the powerful woman of God, Tessa, has helped along the way, not just in fostering. I see how you are with your family, with your cousins, with your uncles, with your aunts, with your whoever. I see the energy that you pour out is really that agape love, that real
Mm,
true God's love. Like you really do love your neighbor and love people like you love yourself. Like you love each and every one of those children that come through the door. Like my son has a relationship with you that sometimes like I'm like, why he gonna tell her that? He didn't tell me that. Like why you what? I don't know you every
this is
day
my
of your
boy.
life.
This is my guy.
But it says a lot about the person you are and how you really like love and what you really radiate when you move, man. I'm so grateful for you. Like so many, like I could go on a Grateful for Tessa tour and just tell people like all kinds of stories, right? And we probably could bring more guests on. Like, hey, y'all want to hop online and tell your piece of what Tessa and how Tessa helped you because like you really are one of those type people, man. I'm gonna say it again. I am super grateful for you. I pray for you because I just know you. I know your spirit. I know your soul. And it's much needed. I'm grateful. I'm gonna keep saying it, but I'm grateful, right? I'm trying not to. I don't know why. Yeah, but I kind of knew before I even hit record that I was probably gonna need this towel just cause like yeah you are special on a day like Mother's Day, on an episode like Mother's Nature. There's no better guest to have. there there there's
Mhm.
there's no better person to have on here to discuss and show like, hey, i i I saw my father in a bad place and I applied God.
Oh yeah.
I saw my mother and I applied God. And in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
weakest moment, God applied himself and brought the community around that I had been introduced into him. Like he brought them right back to show me like why and how the need to move in a way, man. Man, ooh, that that's my spiel. That's my because I truly I truly I truly love you as a person. Like rain, sleet, or snow, you were that dope. I'm gonna say dope. Like you were that dope. Like it's a rare time when you find someone with a heart like yours. Like even some days when you don't wanna, you do. Like if I'm being honest, we got a little time. I'm gonna go over the time. I don't care. Um, there was a day where I thought I might have been ready to give up.
Mm.
I wasn't sure, but I thought at least in that moment I was tired. And I don't remember if you called me. I think you called me. However it happened, you heard it in my voice, and you're like, well, what's going on? Where are you at? Where are you at right now? And I told you, you guys would phone me, and it seemed like by the time my phone hung up, you was pulling up in the parking lot, and like we sat down and ate Bojangles, and all you could just tell me was like, "See that God don't want that for you. That's not your portion." You like to say that that's not your portion,
That's
and
not your
you
portion.
and you taught me away from something that I don't even know if it was a real thought at that time, but I just know I would just get hit over the head over and over and over, and you was like, "No, no, we just gonna get you back in the church. We just gonna keep praying for you." So I appreciate all the prayers. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate God working with you in a way He does. I hope that there's 15 more guests that have 15 more stories. And somehow or another, people can just see how dope you are if they don't come to Ford City and see you walking, if they don't see you in passing, like, oh, I heard about you. I saw you on 82, 82 and 0 live. Like that's just my spiel. I'm sorry. I know this is about you and you should be talking, but I felt like that was definitely necessary to say. There's somebody in the comments. I'm gonna let them say a few words so I can wipe my face. Miss Washington. Miss Washington. She said she's a sister, a friend, and an intercessor. Just beautiful inside and out. Li-
Oh, thank you, Lay.
Listen,
Just my girl.
intercession is her thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. That baby can pray down something, man. I ain't gonna lie to
Man.
you. Yeah. I got me
Look,
one.
but you know what? In order to get to that place, you have to, I believe that you have to have gone through something in order to get to a place where you believe and you pray like that, right? So
Right.
I just thank God that even though when I went through the fire, I didn't come out smelling like smoke. That like even though I went through the fire, I went through the hard stuff, like God still brought me out. And G, I'm gonna just tell you, I'm just so proud of you and your walk with God and all that He's doing in your life. And I have seen how you have grown over especially the last 8 months. Like it was necessary and it was intentional. Like God knew what you needed, and so He placed you where you needed to be. And sometimes that thing can even be uncomfortable and it may not look the way that we think that it's going to look, but just know that God had you where He needed you to be to get you to where He was taking you. So I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of your the podcast, and I hope it continues to grow, and we continue to spread the message of faith, the life, and the process, so people will know that God is real and that man, He hears, He sees, and He answers. He is the God who answers. So I would say that just know that He's the guy who answers and He sees you and He sees your heart.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad to do because listen, boy, some days it's the rough side of
You
the
got
mountain.
this.
I'm
You,
going up.
oh, you coming up the rough shot? You know what? But you're gonna make it. The song says, but you're gonna make it. Yeah, you're gonna make it. Oh, with Jesus on your side, huh? Says with Jesus on your side, things will turn out. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna make it. Amen.
Amen. Amen. And so with that said, I'm gonna give you a moment to have the platform by yourself, right?
Okay.
Whatever's on your heart, you can say. You can speak to the mothers out there who may be going through some things, the daughters out there that may be facing some hard times. Just whoever's out there watching, whoever might need to listen. I'm gonna give you the platform to do your thing.
Listen. If you're here, I believe that you're here on purpose, right? And just know, first of all, happy Mother's Day, whether you're a mother, your grandma, your auntie mama, however it is that you are making an impact to the world. So I just want to let you know that you are necessary, that God is so intentional about you. Like he loves you so much with an unfailing love, like unconditional love. Like he is so mindful of you. You are designer's original. Like God broke the mold when he made you. Like there's not another person with your DNA. Not another person. And guess what? God calls you a great. Like you're great. You God told me this once. He said, you don't have to be the greatest to be a great. So just know that I believe that you are the greatest. Like you are the apple of the Father's eye, and He is so mindful of you. If it concerns you, it concerns Him. And I pray that He would overwhelm anything that dares to overwhelm you in this season of your life. I pray that you would fail not, that you won't quit, that you won't give up, that you will trust God. Like you will literally try Him. You will just take Him at His word and trust Him. Like even in this moment, God, I surrender and I trust you. God, I give you my yes. There's so much He can do with your yes. So just know that he loves you with an unconditional, unfailing love. You are so precious to him. Don't give up. Don't quit. God will show up. Watch God provide. Whether you're dealing with grief, whether you're dealing with heartache, whatever it is, God can handle it. It's not too big for him. It may be overwhelming for you, but it's not overwhelming for him, and it didn't catch him by surprise. So I dare you to trust God in this season. Watch him with your life, like give him your life and watch what he does with it. I pray that he would exceed your wildest imagination. Anything that you could ask, think, or imagine, like he would exceed that thing in this season of your life. So trust God, believe in him, walk with him. Don't give up, don't quit. God won't fail. He's never lost and he never will.
You see why they call her a powerful woman of God, and yeah, that's our show, man. Happy Mother's Day again. Miss Tessa, we greatly appreciate you.
Thank you
Um,
for having me.
everything you've done. You not only are you've been a great guest, you're often in the comments. You really are 82 and 0 fam. So we appreciate you for that. When we get the
Yeah,
hat, we
man.
gotta make sure you get a hat. We gotta
Better.
make sure you get that on. Stick around for me behind the scenes. We'll have a little conversation. For
Absolutely.
everyone else, I appreciate you tuning in. I know this is Mother's Day. You could have been with your mama. Y'all could have been having a little dinner. You could have been just sitting there watching, doing some family movies, but you decided to tune in, and I'm greatly, greatly, greatly appreciative of that. This is 82 and 0 live. We 82 and 0 when we moving with God. Like in basketball, the perfect season is 82 and 0. So with God, when he the coach and he got to play the book, we are 82 and 0. We undefeated. There's no losing when we walking with God. This is another testimony, another conversation, another person that just attest to that there's no losing when we walking with God. When we truly believe, when we truly walk in his light, it ain't no losing, man. Until next Sunday at 7 p.m., man, we love you. We appreciate you. God bless.
Cause inside the Holy Ghost having a ride. I ain't coming in the